Ethan, please tell me this isn't true. Please tell me they lied.
Zara, you shouldn't have come here.
Then explain something to me. How does a man propose to another woman when I'm carrying his child?
How much do you want? Let's not waste time. Women like you always want something. What?
Say something. Tell her I'm not lying. Tell her you love me.
I never promised forever.
I am carrying your child.
And I'll support the child financially.
You got another woman engaged and somehow I'm the problem?
Security. Remove her.
One day the truth will embarrass every single person standing here tonight.
Before Zara Bello became successful, before London fashion magazines knew her name, before wealthy people fought for appointments with her, she was simply a young woman trying to survive. Life had never been generous to Zara. She lost her mother at the age of 8. 3 years later, she lost her father too. By 16, she had already learnt a lesson many adults never fully understand. Life does not stop because your heart is broken. It keeps moving, whether you are ready or not. After her parents died, Zara moved to London to live with her Aunt Sadie. The apartment was tiny, the heating barely worked, and money disappeared almost as quickly as it arrived. But Aunt Sadie gave her something more valuable than comfort. She gave her stability, she gave her love, and she gave her permission to dream. While other girls obsessed over luxury handbags and celebrity gossip, Zara obsessed over fashion sketches, old notebooks, fabric samples, design ideas. She spent hours imagining dresses that didn't exist yet, beautiful gowns, elegant African-inspired designs, outfits that told stories. Sometimes Aunt Sadie would wake up at 2 in the morning and find Zara still sketching, her pencil moving endlessly across paper. "You need sleep," her aunt would say, and Zara would smile. "I need success first." They would both laugh, but secretly, Zara meant every word, because she wanted more than survival. She wanted significance. And one rainy afternoon, fate finally noticed her. Unfortunately, it arrived behind the wheel of a luxury SUV.
A problem? You just destroyed 300 pounds worth of fabric. That puddle you drove through, those fabrics were mine.
I'll replace them.
That's not the point.
Then what's the point?
A car that expensive should come with manners.
Nobody has ever spoken to me like that.
Maybe that's the problem.
What's your name?
Zara.
Ethan returned the next day, then the day after, then again the following week. At first, Zara assumed you felt guilty. Then she assumed he was bored. Then she realized something dangerous. He genuinely liked her, and against her better judgment, she liked him too. Their relationship developed slowly. Coffee shops, train rides, walks beside the Thames, late-night conversations about dreams. For the first time in years, Zara felt seen. Not pitied, not judged, seen. Ethan listened when she spoke about fashion. He remembered details. He encouraged her ambitions. He made her feel like her dreams mattered. And that mattered more than expensive gifts, because emotional attention often becomes the doorway to emotional attachment. 3 months later, they were inseparable. 6 months later, they were in love. Or at least Zara believed they were. What she didn't know was that Ethan's family had already started making plans for his future, plans that did not include her. Mrs. Adeyemi wanted influence, power, connections, status, and she had already selected the woman she wanted her son to marry, Olivia Lawson, daughter of a wealthy political family, everything Zara wasn't. And when Mrs. Adeyemi discovered her son was seriously involved with a struggling immigrant fashion student, war quietly began. At first it looked like advice, then pressure, then manipulation, until eventually the pressure started changing Ethan. Messages became shorter, phone calls became less frequent, future plans disappeared from conversations, and then everything became worse because one morning Zara discovered she was pregnant.
Ethan, I have something important to tell you.
What is it?
You're going to be a father.
Why aren't you saying anything?
I need time.
Time?
This changes everything.
A baby isn't complicated. Your reaction is. We can face this together.
He leaves, without hugging her, without smiling, without celebrating, without saying goodbye. And deep inside, Zara suddenly felt afraid. Fear has a strange way of recognizing truth before the mind does. For 7 days, Ethan barely called. For 7 days, Zara convinced herself everything would be fine. For 7 days, she ignored every warning sign. Then, on the 8th day, she opened social media and saw the photograph. Ethan, smiling, standing beside Olivia Lawson, holding her hand under a caption that read, "Officially engaged." The world stopped. Not literally, just emotionally, which sometimes feels worse. For nearly an hour, Zara sat frozen on her apartment floor, unable to breathe properly, unable to think, unable to understand how a man could move from "I love you" to "I'm engaged" in a matter of days. But she needed answers, real answers, not social media answers, not rumors, not assumptions. So she did the one thing heartbreak always convinces people to do. She went looking for closure. Unfortunately, what she found instead was humiliation. The next 4 years changed everything. Amaya was no longer a small fashion label. It became a movement. Women flew into London just to wear Zara's designs. Celebrities competed for appointments. Fashion magazines called her the African visionary redefining luxury. The same city that once ignored her now celebrated her. The same people who once pitied her now quoted her interviews. The same doors that once stayed closed now opened before she even knocked. But success did something even more important. It healed her. Not completely. Some wounds never disappear, but they stop controlling you. And for the first time in many years, Zara no longer woke up thinking about Ethan. She thought about her daughter, her business, her future. Peace had quietly replaced pain. Meanwhile, across another part of London, life was moving in the opposite direction. Ethan Adeyemi's engagement to Olivia lasted less than a year. At first, everything looked perfect. The weddings, the photographs, the luxury vacations, the expensive smiles. But appearances are often professional liars. The marriage struggled almost immediately. Arguments became routine, trust disappeared, and business problems soon followed. bad investments, failed partnerships, financial losses, legal investigations. One mistake became another, then another, then another. The empire his mother spent years protecting slowly began to collapse. Investors withdrew, friends disappeared, phone calls stopped being returned, and perhaps worst of all, the one thing he sacrificed everything for never brought him happiness. Because money without peace is simply expensive misery. Some nights he sat alone in his office, staring through the city lights, thinking about choices, thinking about consequences, thinking about a woman he once called a mistake, a woman who somehow remained unforgettable. Then, one morning, his final company collapsed, and Ethan found himself searching for employment. The irony would have been funny if it wasn't so devastating.
I'm sorry,
Because
Ethan.
destiny
We've exhausted
had
every
already
option.
arranged the interview.
How much have I lost? Everything. You'll need employment immediately.
Employment.
I heard a luxury fashion company is hiring. Amaya, you should apply.
The interview was scheduled for Thursday morning, 9 a.m., Amaya headquarters, Central London. Ethan arrived 30 minutes early. Old habits. The building itself was breathtaking. Glass architecture, luxury interiors, international prestige, success visible from every corner. Employees moved confidently through the lobby. Nobody recognized him anymore. Years ago, that realization would have wounded his pride. Now, it simply made him tired. As he sat waiting, a large portrait caught his attention, a photograph of Amaya's founder. The image was partially hidden from where he sat. He couldn't see the face clearly, only the silhouette. The receptionist smiled politely. "She's ready for you." Ethan stood, adjusted his jacket, and followed the assistant toward the executive floor. Every step brought him closer to something he never imagined. Because sometimes, the people we abandon
Good morning, Ethan.
become the people we answer to.
This can't be real. You own Amaya?
Yes.
You built all of this?
Not alone, but yes.
I don't know what to say.
Then don't say anything yet. We've both waited years for this conversation.
Regret is a peculiar thing. It becomes heavier with age, especially when there is no way to undo the damage. As Ethan sat across from Zara, the memories attacked him relentlessly. The rain, the hotel, the silence, the tears, the child, the abandonment, everything. And then his eyes landed on a framed photograph sitting behind Zara's desk. A smiling little girl, beautiful, confident, bright eyes, the kind of smile that immediately changes a room. Something inside Ethan stopped, because she looked familiar, painfully familiar. The shape of her eyes, the smile, the expression, the resemblance was impossible to ignore. And suddenly, the question escaped before he could stop
My daughter.
it.
Our daughter?
Yes,
She's real.
she always was.
What's her name?
Amaya.
I've been an entire life.
And for the first time since losing everything, Ethan finally understood what true loss felt like. That evening, neither of them went home quickly. Some conversations require years before they can finally happen. For hours, they talked, not as lovers, not as enemies, as two people standing on opposite sides of history. Ethan apologized, again and again and again. But apologies have limits. They can acknowledge pain. They cannot erase it. Eventually, the conversation arrived where it had always been heading, the future, and whether there could still be one. For years, Ethan imagined this moment differently. He imagined finding Zara again, winning her back, repairing what was broken. Life had other plans, because while Ethan had spent years regretting the past, Zara had spent those same years building a future.
I was
And
a
that
coward.
future no longer
Yes.
needed him.
I let my mother control my decisions.
Yes.
I had me barely missed. I loved you. I never stopped.
That's the tragedy, Ethan.
I believe you.
No.
Please.
The woman who loved you died the night those hotel doors closed. I spent years mourning her. Then I rebuilt myself.
Can we ever start over?
Some things break like glass. Pieces can survive. They never become what they were before. Now, you can know your daughter, but you will never have me again.
I understand.
The years that followed brought something neither revenge nor success could ever fully provide: peace. Ethan became part of Amaya's life, slowly, carefully, patiently. Not because he deserved it, because a child deserved the truth. Mrs. Adeyemi eventually apologized too, not once, many times. But some apologies arrive after the damage is already permanent. Zara accepted the apology. She simply refused to return to the past. And that became her greatest victory. Not wealth, not fame, not success. Freedom. Freedom from bitterness. Freedom from regret. Freedom from needing validation from the people who once rejected her. As for Ethan, he learned a lesson many people learn too late. The value of something is often invisible until it's gone. And sometimes, the greatest punishment is not losing everything. It's spending the rest of your life remembering the person you lost because of your own choices. On a warm summer evening, Zara sat beside her daughter overlooking the London skyline. The city glowed beneath them. Beautiful, complicated, endless, much like life itself. Amaya leaned against her shoulder, and Zara smiled. Not because life was fair. Life was never fair. But because she survived long enough to discover something better than revenge. She found peace. Thank you for watching this story until the very end. If Zara's journey touched your heart, don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you never miss another powerful story from Sweetest African Folktales. Tell us in the comments, if you were Zara, would you have given Ethan a second chance? And don't forget, the Sweetest Faceless Content Blueprint is now live. If you want to learn how to create powerful African folktale content and grow your own storytelling channel, be sure to get your copy. Stay blessed, sweet folks. See you in the next captivating story.